Hi everyone, I'm Eunice. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is actually the third part of showing you guys all the books that I have been able to acquire from my trip to Kinshasa. So today I'm gonna show you all the books that have been gifted in Kinshasa. And then I'm also gonna show you a book that I was able to purchase. Let's do it. The first set of books was gifted to me by my uncle, my dad's brother. I'm gonna show you a clip of how he was gifting me this book, just giving me an idea of each books. So enjoy the video and I'll see you right after.
Alors ça, ces monuments, ça se trouve à Kinshasa, rond-point Kinshasa. Okay. C'est moi qui l'ai fait ériger quand j'étais gouvernement. C'est le monument de la réinsertion des enfants avec deux familles qui va un papa, avec un enfant normal, qui récupère un chégué, qui l'amène.
Et ça, c'est quand est-ce que tu l'as
Ben, ça, c'est pas moi qui...
Non, mais qu'est-ce que tu as poussé à l'acheter?
Je l'ai acheté pour le 50e.
Ah, 51, bien évidemment.
2010.
Un petit peu pour ton oreille, ok?
Donc le professeur Kaouba, c'est un ami. Hein.
Ok. Et ça, c'était pas quel?
C'est à l'époque que j'étais à Village, je l'ai pas. C'est quelle année? Donc l'éditeur, c'est... Ils ont la préface, c'est pas n'importe qui, hein. C'est leur nom.
Non, ben déjà, ils ont la communication à l'époque.
Et Robert Douglas,
Et nous, on ça
aussi. Et celui qui a fait son plan.
So the first book he gifted me was, mind you, bear with me because all the books are in French. So I'm really gonna try to give all my English speaker an idea of what the books are really about, but it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle, but bear with me. So the first one is actually le rapport Observatoire de conjoncture économique et sociale by this actually it's not really a book per se, but it's more like a collection of analysis and threats of the economical aspect of the country, my country, the DRC. So it has a lot of analytics in there. It has a lot of data collection. I just thought it would be interesting. It's also an old book. It was written in 2001. I was merely curious about it, so I wanted to read it just to assess myself. So it has a lot of graphs in it, a lot of analytics in there. So this was merely just out of curiosity that I picked out this book. It's written by a committee of writers. It's not just a book by one writer, as I say. It's more like a project, a collection of information, of data, analysis. So it's written by a committee of writers. We have Leopold Bosekota, Wachia, I hope I'm saying it right. And then we have Professor Jacques Sabiti Kiseta. So yes, I'm really curious to dive into it and really know more about the economical aspect of my country in 2001. The second book that my uncle gave me was L'Industrie sidérurgique. What am I saying in English? L'industrie sidérurgique et le développement durable de la République démocratique du Congo. For my English speaker, I'm going to translate the title in the subtitle, so bear with me. This book is by André Aouka Chamba. André Aouka Chamba. This book is merely talking about how the country can utilize the iron industry and make wealth out of it. So that's basically it. So yeah. So it's L'Industrie sidérurgique et le développement durable de la République démocratique du Congo by André Aouka Chamba. So this is the second book that my uncle gifted me. Just a quick disclaimer, my uncle is a civil engineer, so as you can see, some of the books that he gave me, it's pretty technical. Not really technical, but you understand. So the third book that my uncle gifted me is la terre de nos ancêtres. This I can translate, the land of our ancestors. Dialogue à bâton rompu. This book is by Kaumba Lufunda Samajiku. This book just a collection of many receipts of our land, of our country, way before with our ancestors. So, comme on dirait, c'est un conte, un livre qui contient des contes, des récits au fait, qui est propre à notre pays. So yeah, and I thought it was an interesting book as well. So this is the third book that my uncle gifted me. And last but not least, the last book that my uncle gifted me is 19 Nuits à la Belle Étoile, Un bon enfant dans le rue de Kinshasa by Credo Mbukapindu. Yeah, I hope I'm saying it right. Yeah, Credo Mbukapindu. So this book is mainly talking about this this jargon in my city, Kinshasa, that we call shege. That means shege is actually children who are chased away from their home and they are left to fend for themselves, and they have no home. Like, we'll say homeless, but mainly children. Yeah, children homeless. I'll say yeah. So children with no home, no place to stay, and so they are sleeping à la Belle Étoile, just outside without a home. So this book is talking about that phenomenon. And one thing special about this book, actually, my uncle, because the author is actually his friend, and my uncle is the one who forwarded this book. My uncle is the one who forwarded this book. So that's why this book is so special to him. But I'm so glad that he was able to gift it to me. And that really meant a lot to me. So yeah, this 19 Nuits à la Belle Étoile by Credo Mbukapindu. And I can't wait to read it as well. The second set of books was books that I was able to get from my dad's library at home. After 9 years, I'm back again here. Nice. So give me the tour. Show me around. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm finding the books that I read when I was a child. I remember this one. Oh my God, I read all of them. All of them. All of them. All of them. Mes amis de l'histoire sainte. Jeez, this is so real. There's like 5 collection. Yeah, there's like 5 collection. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me pick the other one. What is it about? This one. Mes amis de l'histoire sainte aussi. But this one, je pense, it's a New Testament. Yeah. And this one, yeah, Ancient Testament as well. Oh God. Yeah, les histoires de la Bible. Histoire fascinante de la Bible. Oh man. Jeez. This is unbelievable. Livre. Oh. Ah, ça, c'est dit que je n'avais pas encore lu ça. Ok. Le charisme de ça. Mais ça fait très longtemps que tu as ce livre. Hein?
Il y a des livres, quand j'ai mis de l'ordre, et je vais commencer à lire. C'est que je vais réfléchir, je vais maintenant prendre. Il y a encore des histoires que je vais pas encore classer.
Ok. Ah, je me rappelle, je vois ça. Le charisme en action. Tu connais le livre de Gary Chapman, le 5 langages de l'amour? Tu en as? En vrai, ça va pas m'étonner si tu en as. Tu en as? Fais ça. Fais ça.
C'est vrai que quand je travaille avec,
Le langage de l'amour.
c'est là où je peux le voir facilement.
Oh! Mais j'ai vu ce livre, je voyais ça. J'ai pas lu ça, mais je voyais ça. Non, je lis ça les années après, je lis ça en anglais. Ah, langage de l'amour.
Ça aussi, il a parlé des saisons du mariage.
Ok. Pour du mariage, Gary Chapman. Interesting. Quelle interprétation pour mes songes? J'ai lu ça. J'ai lu ça. Il y a... Le gars, comment il s'appelle encore? Bati, voilà. J'ai lu ça. Tu peux m'aider ici? Thank you. Wow. This is among one of the pieces that I love in my dad's office. This was a souvenir from Togo, Lomé, where he went to study theology. Fatat, for those who know, Fatat. So he brought this piece. I used to love staring at this piece. I can just stand there staring at this piece for, I don't know, minutes. I love it. I thought it was just well crafted. And it never ages. It never, doesn't get destroyed after all these years. Because it went to, oh my God, look at me trying to destroy it now. Oh gosh. It went to Lomé in 2007. But it's still, pretty beautiful. And I love this piece. Let me try to take it back where it was before I destroy it. Oh, look at me.
One fun fact about my dad, he often buys book in double. Whenever he buys a book, he usually buys 2 copies because he always say, oh, maybe somebody will ask me, or maybe I'll give you one anyway. So I was like, okay, interesting. So I was able to get 4 books from his library, and these are Christian books. So the first one is Leadership Africain by Dr. Daniel Chou. Dr. Daniel Chou is a medical doctor in radiology. I think I tried to translate a little bit about him because in French it was just too much. I tried to translate a little bit of about him, and I'm gonna tell you. So Dr. Daniel Chou is a medical doctor. He's an African doctor. He's from Cameroon. He's also the director of the Pioneer Agai Institute for Francophone Africa and the International Faculty. So he's also he's a doctor. He's a spiritual leader. He has served as a hospital director, planted churches. He's also a pioneer of different ministry in Cameroon and also all over Africa. So I've seen this book in my dad's library since I was a child, but as I said, I was maybe not mature enough to care, or maybe mature enough to really care about it. So I thought it was interesting. The Leadership Africain, État des lieux et perspectives. So this was the first book that I got from my dad's library. The second book that I got from my dad's library is Adorer Dieu sur la terre comme au ciel by Henri Papa Moulaja. Henri Papa Moulaja is a worship leader, a renowned worship leader in my country, and he was also a member of this Christian band called Echo d'Adoration, which is also renowned. Like, as I can say, most of the songs sung in churches in Kinshasa, even all over the DRC, are actually from that worship team. So he's now, I think actually he's a pastor of a church called Soufflerie. So I think this is his first book, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Adorer le Seigneur sur la terre comme au ciel. In English, I'll say worship God on earth as it is in heaven, basically. Yeah, so this is the second book that I got from my dad's library. The next book I got from my dad's library is Le deux mandats de l'homme sur la terre by Pastor Rémi Valère Djunga Loata. So this is the dad of a friend of mine. And when this book was published, I was here in the US, so I never got the chance to have it. So I saw that my dad had 2 copies, so I had to take one. So this is a Christian book. So this is the third book that I got from my dad's library. Last but not least, the last book that I got from my dad's library is Jésus-Christ le roi que j'adore by the late Alain Moloto. So Alain Moloto was a renowned worship leader in my country. He passed away. So he was a renowned worship leader in my country, and he was the founder of a most renowned worship team called Gael. If you go on YouTube, even Google, you just type Gael, Gael. Is a most renowned group of worshipers. He was also the president of SINAD, which is International Community of Worshipper. So I have his first book. I have a first book by Alain Moloto. I can't remember the title, but I remember I talked about it in one of my videos on my social media. I think it was on TikTok and on Instagram. So this is his second book, but I never got the chance to read it. When I was back home, I didn't read it. And now I was back, I was like, okay, now it's the opportunity for me to get it. So this was the last book that I got from my dad's library. The next book that I got was a gift from my mom. This funny story, actually. I saw this book was being sold at church. After one services, I was interested, but I didn't have money for it. And I asked my mom, I was like, okay, there's this book I'm interested in. I want to buy it, but I don't have money. At first, she said no. She was like, I cannot spend that much for a book. I cannot spend that much for a book. And then I left. I was so disappointed. I left. And then after a while, she called me. She was like, who this? And she showed me that she bought it for me. I was so excited because I was like, okay, maybe I'm just going to ask my dad. I'm going to tell him, okay, I'm interested in this book. Can you buy it for me? I was already preparing my speech on how I want to read this book so bad. Can you buy it for me? But my mom actually gifted me this book and I was so excited. So this book is Le Mas de l'éthique pour une renaissance effective de la RDC. This book is by Dr. Daniel Kawata. So Dr. Daniel Kawata is actually the founder of Leadership Academia University, a renowned university in my city in Kinshasa. He's also a professor at Beulah High University in Atlanta, here in the US. So I've first known him as a minister of the word, because I know he has Prophet Daniel Kawata. And then with time, he got his PhD. He opened up a new university in my country. So I got to know him like he's more than just a minister of the word. So when I saw this book, I was instantly intrigued by it and I wanted to read it so bad. So this book was a gift from my mom. The next book was actually a gift from my brother. When we first went to La Maison du Savoir, you can watch that video where I made like a mini vlog of my purchase at La Maison du Savoir. I'm gonna link it somewhere above. So when we first went there, because I wanted to go first and just have an idea, take a look, if I like what I see, and then come back later. So my first visit at La Maison du Savoir, my brother gifted me this book. He bought it for me. This book is by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Ngugi wa Thiong'o is a Kenyan author. And the title is La Rivière de Vie. But this book is also in English called The River Between. But I didn't mind having it in French. So yeah, this was a book, this was a gift from my brother. So La Rivière de Vie, it's actually a story of rivalry between two to Kikuyu community, Kikuyu from Kenya, of course, to Kikuyu community. And then we have the protagonist called Wayaki, who was a man that they thought was gifted with special power. So this was a gift from my brother, and I can't wait to read it as well. And the last book was actually a book that I purchased in my neighborhood. There's this popular bookstore in my neighborhood since I was in high school. It's called Librairie Sandwenga. So I wasn't sure if I'm still gonna find that library in my neighborhood, but surprisingly they are still there in business. So when I went there, I purchased this book, Camarale, L'Enfant Noir. This book is a classic, and it's really a popular one. This book is a classic. I've heard about this book my whole high school years, but I never had a chance to read it. Yeah, now that it's making sense, I've never had a chance to read Camarale, L'Enfant Noir. Camarale is an author from Guinea. So this is, I don't know if this is the most popular of his work, but I know L'Enfant Noir is popular. L'Enfant Noir has Black Child. So it's really one of his popular work. And when I went to that library, I was like, okay, this is my time to finally buy L'Enfant Noir by Camarale. So this is the book that I purchased by myself. So these were all the books that I was gifted during my trip to Kinshasa. I was gifted a book by my uncle, my dad, books that I took from his library, and then books that I was gifted by my mom, my brother, and the book that I purchased by my childhood library in my neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to read this book pretty soon and share my thoughts with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment. Let me know if you heard of any of the authors that I talked about, any of the books that I talked about. If you heard of it or it sounds familiar to you, please let's chat about it in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.